Hi everybody, Stuff and Things here with a follow-up video to my last one about 47 tricks at 47 years old. This is sort of a fails and bails kind of video. I'm going to show you some of the learning process, some of those where I fall down and things look funny. So let's dig in. So the first things there I was doing was just some nose slides. Those didn't make it into the video because I ended up having things that were better. Had a lot of moments like this where trying a trick and then it goes weird, but I try to stay on the board and it looks really goofy. Still having fun on the skateboard, but not exactly what I want. Here I'm trying backside 50-50 and I couldn't stay locked in, but I still managed to pivot out or shove out, but it wasn't clean enough. Ended up being kind of weird because it's way over there on the side of the box. I don't know how I ended up on the skateboard again on that one. This I think is learning front crook. And yeah, it is, because here I am putting the board in front crook, trying to just stand on it and figure out what does this position feel like. This is really weird. I know front crooks are notoriously kind of difficult because it's so easy to slip out of it. So I just played with the balance for a long time here so I could understand what's going on. And then it was really funny shortly after that, after a few more tries.
Let's go. What?
Just like that, I got one. And then I managed to get some more. There were some sketchy ones, and this was lots and lots of tries. I'm going to be showing the best ones here. But I did manage to learn front crook, even though they're not great, but it's just another trick in the bag, which is awesome. And this next one coming up here was fun. It made it into the final video. I got the front crook, I pivoted around, and for a split second I was in fakie manual. That would be super cool if I could actually do that on purpose. This was the Susky day, and this was trying to get backside Susky, I guess it's nollie backside Susky, with the 180 out, because it kind of naturally happens. And so there were some sketchy ones. I couldn't quite get the rotation, and then I got the one that I just loved, where I finally got it nice and clean and no tic-tacs. That was a great one. Okay, moving on. I talked about fails. Well, there's a trick that never made it into the video because I never actually got it. And I tried this many days, many times, and I can't do it. And that's half cab crook. I really thought this would be possible. I was like, okay, just have to come from fakie, spin, not even a 180, get into crook, and I can probably do this, right? Well, it is skateboarding, and skateboarding, for me at least, is weird in that there are tricks that I'm like, oh, cool, I got that one. And then there's other ones where I think I can do it, and it's just a struggle, and a struggle, and a struggle. And so these are some of my early crook attempts. That was kind of weird, almost kind of cool, but it was a total accident. I end up in half cab nose grind, and then able to pivot out, and we're going to see more of that in a little bit, but I'm still going after the crook here. And I think half cab crook is going to come back through the video because, like I said, I tried it for many days. So this is me going, wait, okay, so I was doing this like pivoty thing. So let's try backside nose grind, which is a trick I can do, even though it's hard, and try to pivot out and turn 180 the hard way. And we're going to see that one come back as well because I never got that one too. This is me trying to learn backside 180 onto the box, and I ended up in weird positions where one truck locks but the other one doesn't. I wouldn't call that a feeble because it's not off at its angle, but that would be an awesome trick to do a 180 feeble, and that was the one that finally worked, the backside 180 into 50-50. And I tried the backside 180 then with a fakie shove out. Would have been cool to get. I got a couple really sloppy ones. The trucks weren't locked right. Tic-tacs at the end. So that one didn't make it into the video, but it was worth trying. Oh, look, we're back to half cab crook. And also backside nose grind with that backside 180 out. Another one I never got, and I will keep working on this one because I think it looks cool, and I know I can do it. The balance is really weird when you start to spin that other direction. That's, I think, the piece that I'm missing. It's like I can kind of get the 180, even if I do a little bit of pivot at the end. I just can't get over my skateboard again and roll away. I'm either on one foot or the other, or I'm leaning like way out to the side, like on my heels or something like that. And so I had a lot of success with backside 180. So I started working on backside 180 and only trying to go to the front truck. And quickly I realized that I could fall, but I could also get my heel side wheel to kind of lock in, which is a crook position. I'm just traveling the wrong direction because I've done a 180. That's why I call it backside crook. And since I started to like lock that wheel in sometimes, I was like, okay, I think that's the trick for this backside 180 to the front truck. I think it's backside 180 to crook. That was a goofy little roll away there. But it sort of starts to work even though I over-rotate, and sometimes I just end up on the wrong side of the box. This is another try at something new. I've never done a front 5-0 on my box before because it's a little bit higher, just over 6 inches, and 5-0s for me are not something I can really do well unless it's like barely an obstacle, like the mani pad at my local. But I finally figured out where the weight needs to go and how the ankle pop needs to work. And eventually I finally started to get these, I think a couple days of trying 5-0s, and finally did get a couple of them that worked out. And now we're into another new one, pop shove it 50-50. And at first, this was really scary to get my board to spin and try to get on the box. But I kind of gained some confidence with things like that last one where I got on and then I rolled away, even though I didn't do a 50-50, but it helped. And this one was really hard because getting both trucks to actually lock in and have my weight balanced, it took a long time to get the final one, the clean one that I liked. Some of these mistakes where only one truck gets in and the other one doesn't. Sometimes it was the front truck, sometimes it was the back truck. Makes me wonder if I should go for some other things like pop shove it into some sort of different position. Maybe 5-0 would work. Maybe nose grind would work, even though I think that one might be more scary, but maybe it's doable. Here's another one that never made it into the video. This is rolling in fakie and turning front side. I was trying to do fakie front side 180 to 50-50. And I got really close. I just couldn't get both trucks to lock in again. And if I did, my balance was way off and I couldn't just keep the grind going and then kind of lift and get out of it clean. So another trick that I haven't quite gotten yet, but I know I could. And again, this ended up having some weird situations where I would get into a different position on accident. This last one is kind of funny. I almost end up in manual and roll away, but I wasn't going for that. And here we're going fakie again, and I'm going for fakie frontside nose grind, trying to just put that nose up there and grind along. So this is sort of the learning process. This ended up becoming a trick I really enjoyed. It was really difficult at first, but it ended up being really fun. Got a couple sort of decent ones where I came out of it, and the one I kept in the video is this one. I had fantastic balance, nice clean exit. That was another one of my favorite tricks. And we're back to half cab crook. I cannot do this one, but on this day I was kind of getting the position a little bit better and getting some grind. It's getting out of the grind that's really, really difficult. The other thing I know I have a problem with is that if I do hit the spot and get the grind going, I keep rotating. My body wants to keep spinning, and that makes it really difficult to get out. Here I'm just playing with the idea of going in fakie and getting the back truck up onto the box. I did fakie front tail, and that worked out pretty well, and I was like, maybe I can do it with the truck and get into like a crook-like position, or maybe even a 5-0 kind of position. And that's what it ended up evolving into. Is I tried to do fakie 5-0, and I have rolled away from it a little bit, but I never got one that was clean enough to include in the video. It was really close. I think that's one there. I did roll away, but I clunked down off the box. But I'm on my way. I'm close to that one. And here's half cab crook again, and this was the day I got closest to a rollaway. I think this one, yeah, it rolls away, but it's just super ugly and weird. But I got sort of close. This was a fun little thing. I never got what I wanted. I was doing fakie 50-50, and I was trying to spin out front side, and I was trying to land on my, I guess it would be my left foot, and see if I could pivot around and basically do a 360 out. I never got it, but it was fun to try. Here's a couple good falls from some backside nose grind because I was trying that pivot out and I end up falling a lot when the nose digs in. But what I liked about this was that these falls were really good falls. Remember how I'm proud when I fall properly, correctly, and I don't put my hands down much and I roll out of it? Those falls didn't hurt at all. They were great, and I'm actually really happy about that. Okay, here I am back to backside 180 crook that I hadn't gotten earlier, and this is when it started to click quite a bit more. I had that slip out there, which was good because I got some grind, and you can see I'm really starting to nail that lock in on the heel side wheel. So by the end of this day, we got a bunch of ones that count that I rolled away from, and it counts as the grind that I was going for. And the final one that I ended up getting for the video actually had a clean exit, kind of like, I wouldn't say I popped out, but at least I kind of came out of it like purposefully, not in a way that was like sketchy, like that one. That was pretty sketchy, even though I rolled away. And since I really did start to click with this trick on this day, I was trying to add some more speed because I was thinking, you know what, if I could come off the end of the box, it would make this a lot easier to get out of the trick. So I was trying to go faster and get to the end of the box. I got a little closer and a little closer, even though I never really accomplished that. But I got some where the wheel just barely like clunks off, but the nose is still there. But it's good. It's all really good progress, and I was really happy with how this went. And this became one of my favorite tricks. There was a nice little slip out. Got to the end of the box, but then I fell. And here's the final one that I kept. Okay, and here we are back to 5-0, frontside 5-0. And this is the day it really started to click and make a lot more sense. Here I'm finally getting some where you can count it. I got off the box, I rolled away. They're a little sketchy, but then I kept working on it, and by the end I got the one that was a keeper. I think this was also the same day as backside 180 crook, and so I was just on fire this day. It was really fun. Getting to the end here. Here's one of my last trick of the video, was that kickflip to wheelie grind. Now, you know I was trying kickflip to backside 50-50. I didn't care. I was excited that I landed something from a kickflip onto the box. Now, this was really funny that I tried a lot of things with the kickflip onto the box. A lot of interesting things happened. That one, the board ended up upside down, and I was like, I wonder if I can flip it back over and get back on, just for the fun of it. Like, might as well try, right? The other thing I started sort of trying was the kickflip into a board slide instead of locking both trucks in, because it just kind of felt like it wanted to do that. And I slipped out a bunch of times, but this could be a thing I try to do again in the future. There were a couple like this one that definitely had some potential where I do lock into kind of a board slide, have a little bit more balance, but I don't quite finish it off. And then there's the idea of kickflip feeble, which I got into a couple of times, but then my balance is, of course, way off. But the back truck gets on, the front one overshoots. That could be cool. Now let's get into some really crazy stuff. I landed upside down on the nose. I was like, okay, that's like a dark nose slide. Okay, try to flip the board and come out of it. And then that happened, and I was like, no way. How am I dark sliding? This is nuts. And then check this one out.
No! I slid and everything.
Yeah, so I might actually have to try this one of these days, do it on purpose, because I got a dark slide. I just can't get out. If I could get out, that would be one of the most amazing things I've ever done on a skateboard. But there we have it, a little behind the scenes of what went into my 47 tricks on the box at 47 years old. It was a lot of work, but I loved doing it. I love a lot of the tricks that came out of it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.